Chinese space station smashes to Earth at 17,000 miles per hour off the coast of Tahiti. 9-ton installation the size of a school bus comes crashing into the atmosphere in a huge fireball and just misses tropical paradise. The defunct Chinese space station Tiangong 1 re-entered the atmosphere over the South Pacific on Monday. Craft re-entered the atmosphere around 8:15 a.m. Beijing time, and vast majority had burnt up upon re-entry. Chinese space authorities had predicted it would re-enter off the Brazilian coast in the South Atlantic. Scientists monitoring the craft's disintegrating orbit said it posed only the slightest of risks to people. Analysis from the Beijing Aerospace Control Center showed it had mostly burned up. China's out-of-control Tiangong 1 space station smashed into Earth at 17,000 miles per hour off the coast of Tahiti on Monday morning and mostly disintegrated as it hit the planet's atmosphere. The demise of the 9-ton space station had been the subject of scientific speculation for months amid fears large chunks of it could come down near population centers. Experts had been unable to predict where the installation, which is roughly the size of a school bus, would come down, but in the end it's re-entered the Earth's atmosphere over the South Pacific. The craft re-entered the atmosphere around 8:15 a.m. Beijing time, 0015 GMT, and the vast majority of it had burnt up upon re-entry, the China Manned Space Engineering Office said. Just minutes before, their best estimate predicted that it was expected to re-enter off the Brazilian coast in the South Atlantic near the cities of Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. China's space authority said on Sunday that the station would hit speeds of nearly 17,000 miles per hour before disintegrating. They previously said its fiery disintegration would offer a splendid show akin to a meteor shower, but the remote location likely deprived stargazers of a spectacle of fireballs falling from the sky. Scientists monitoring the craft's disintegrating orbit had forecast the craft would mostly burn up and would pose only the slightest of risks to people. Analysis from the Beijing Aerospace Control Center showed it had mostly burned up. Authorities said any debris from the space station would be carrying hydrazine, a high-toxic rocket fuel, and warned people to refrain from touching it or inhaling its fumes. The Aerospace Corporation had earlier predicted Tiangong 1's re-entry would take place within 2 hours either side of 1:30 a.m. BST on Monday, 8:30 p.m. on Sunday in New York, and 10:30 a.m. on Monday in Sydney. Based on the space station's orbit, it could have come back to Earth somewhere 43 degrees north and 43 degrees south, a range covering most of the United States, China, Africa, Southern Europe, Australia, and South America. The United States Air Force 18th Space Control Squadron, which tracks and detects all artificial objects in Earth's orbit, said they had also tracked the Tiangong 1 as it's re-entered the atmosphere over the South Pacific. It said in a statement they had confirmed re-entry in coordination with counterparts in Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, South Korea, and Britain. Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, said the module zoomed over Pyongyang and the Japanese city of Kyoto during daylight hours, reducing the odds of seeing it before it hit the Pacific. It would have been fun for people to see it, but there will be other re-entries, McDowell told AFP. The good thing is that it doesn't cause any damage when it comes down, and that's what we like. Authorities had warned that the chances of any one person being hit by debris was considered less than 1 in a trillion by the Aerospace Corporation. Meteorologist Brian Bennett said, "When it reaches 65 miles above the Earth, it will no longer be able to orbit and will begin its rapid re-entry. Atmospheric breakup will begin when it reaches 50 miles above the Earth and undergo a fiery re-entry until about 30 miles. Only about 10% of the bus-sized, 8.5-ton spacecraft will likely survive being burned up on re-entry, mainly its heavier components such as its engines." The station was due to appear as early as midday on Saturday, but is slowed down due to changes in the weather conditions in space, according to the European Space Agency. The agency said calmer space weather was now expected as a high-speed stream of solar particles did not cause an increase in the density of the upper atmosphere, as previously expected. Such an increase in density would have pulled the spacecraft down sooner, it said. The re-entry window was highly variable, the ESA had earlier cautioned. There was similar uncertainty about where debris from the lab could land as well. The high speeds of returning satellites mean they can travel thousands of kilometers during that time window, and that makes it very hard to predict a precise location of re-entry, said Holger Krag, head of the ESA's Space Debris Office, in comments posted on the agency's website. The ESA added, however, that the space lab will likely break up over water, which covers most of the planet's surface. And it described the probability of someone being hit by a piece of debris from Tiangong 1 as 10 million times smaller than the yearly chance of being hit by lightning. There is no need for people to worry, the China Manned Space Engineering Office said earlier on its WeChat social media account.